Hello again. I'm just on my way back from Goodwood where I've been drawing Bentleys for 4 days, and I realised I was passing Oak Swamp, and I thought wouldn't it be nice just to draw a nice rusty little car for a change after all of those nice shiny new ones. So here I am, and the car I'm going to draw is the Shrew. So this is, like all of Bryan's creations, it's an assembly of several vehicles. There's a big 7 chassis which has been reversed, so see this lovely swooping line that runs all the way from the front, skims down and then runs into the chair. The front part where it lifts up would have gone over the back axle originally, and he's brought those together to a point and fabricated this thing at the front which gives it the name the Shrew. And what I love about Bryan's stuff is that it always just feels like it's always been together. It just, although it's made from lots of different cars, the lines flow and the proportions are right. And he did let me into a secret, which was that he uses the rust to blend all the joins. So all these things where he's made nice new brackets to support the dampers and things. They're just left to rust, and then they blend into all the old original parts. So it's really hard to see what he's made and what's been found. The engine's pretty special as well. It's a little Crosley from the late 40s, just 720cc, but they were quite nicely made and used for racing and dirt tracks and all sorts of things. So that's what I'm going to draw. I'm going to sit in the shade of this boat. I might use the toned paper and the water-soluble pencil. I think that might be fun. Yeah, first thing I'm going to do is just a bit of careful measuring just to make sure that I get the proportions right. The front wheel is pretty much facing me, so that's going to be a perfect circle. So we'll put a circle there, just really lightly, because I may well have to change this. So the lighter you go at this beginning stage where it's all a bit rough and might need to be redone, the better. So we've got this wheel there, so now I can use that wheel, measure the width of that on the actual thing, and measure how many more of those sized wheels I need to cover the length of the car. That's one wheel. One more takes me just to the rear chain drive, the front edge of that, and then one more takes me perfectly to the end of the car. So I need two more wheels. So 2 more of these will cover me for the whole length of the car. That will tell me how long the sketch is going to be. So let's just check this. This is exactly what I did on the car. So one more. That's where the chain drive needs to start. And one more. That's where the back edge of the rear wheel is going to be. So I know how long it's going to be. Now I need to know how high the rear wheel is in relation to this front wheel would be a good thing to work out, I think. So I'm going to just hold my pen horizontally and work out if anything lines up with the front wheel. So I haven't got anything that lines up perfectly, but I can see that the rear wheel comes up, the top of it comes up to about here on the front wheel. So let's put a little marker in there, and the bottom comes in about there. Put a marker in there. In relation to the front wheel, the rear wheel's about that kind of height in that position. And I'll measure the width of the rear wheel across the width of it, and I'll compare that to the front wheel just to see what degree of ellipse I need. So it's a bit more than half the width of the front. So the rear wheel is just a bit more than half the width of the front wheel, about there. So that will come to about there for the rear wheel. So it needs to go from there to there, touch that. And if I get the angle for the rear axle, that will tell me what kind of tilt I need on the rear wheel. So it's about this kind of angle. And I probably should try and work out where my vanishing point is in relation to this drawing, because that would be useful for my axles and anything else that's horizontal in this car. So my eye line is quite a bit higher than the car. I'd say just a bit above the windscreen, so it's kind of... I'm going to guess that it's kind of up here somewhere, my vanishing point for these axles, because that's where that one's pointing to. If I extend that, yeah, somewhere up there. We'll call that my vanishing point. So now, things like the front axle will also head towards that point. Rear axle, anything horizontal like the bottom edge of the windscreen, they're all going to be vanishing at this point here. So that's quite a useful thing to have. Also the axle for the chain drive is going to get off to there as well, and it would tell me the degree of ellipse I need and the tilt of it. I'll put this in really roughly. I've got some ellipse templates with me, so I can refine them a bit. But at this early stage, it's not about looking beautiful, it's just trying to get some landmarks in. So now we need to get the main part of the body in. So the bulkhead's just ahead of this chain drive sprocket, and it slopes back a little bit. I'm looking at this negative space between the rear wheel and the bulkhead there, so just can compare the shape of this space between the wheel and there, just to get the right kind of angle and size. There's a key sort of feature line made by the bottom edge of the bonnet, and I can use my pencil to extend what it would hit if it continued. And I can see that it's just a bit lower than this rear wheel, say here, and let's extend it at the front. So it comes to about here on that rear wheel. If I extended it out the front, it would come to a bit below the rim out there. So it's got quite a tilt on it. I may have to just push these things around a bit, just because there's a certain amount of caricature, I suppose, subtle caricature sometimes, where you just want to exaggerate some little bits. So this is the early rough stage. I hope you can see it. It's very faint. Like I say, it's a good idea to work faintly at this stage, because you may well need to change stuff. But the main thing is that I can get this down in about 10 minutes or something like that, and just see if I'm happy with the overall proportions, my vanishing point, the angles of stuff, and see if I'm happy to continue, because otherwise it might be better to start again if it's just completely off. But I think, looking at this, I think it's about right, so I'm going to press on and start putting some smaller details in, pressing a bit harder, thinking a bit more about getting nice line qualities, because at the moment it's just fuzzy old lines that I'm just trying to put down as a guide, whereas in a nice sketch you ideally want sort of lines that have a nice thick and thin mixture, or just a confident line, a nice sweep, something with a bit of energy, which this doesn't have at the moment because I'm just tentatively measuring. So let's see how that goes.
I get that. Look, it wouldn't go that way.
No, it wouldn't go that way. That's why the clutch wouldn't. It's not as bad as I thought, though.
So I don't always use ellipse templates, but sometimes I think this is going to be a bit more detailed than a quick sketch. I'm going to spend an hour and a bit on it, I think. So I will just give myself some tidy wheel guides to work to, just to keep it looking nice and accurate. Is it cheating? I don't know. So your minor axis, the narrower distance, is always the one that you're going to line up to your vanishing point, the line that goes off to there. You could just reinforce that a bit. So just faintly put my centre line in, and that's what the minor axis is going to line up to. Next size up. So here's where I am at the moment. I've tidied up my ellipses, I've put in all the key sort of landmarks of the important stuff, and a shadow. I'm going to have a go now at adding a little bit of tone, maybe wetting it down to get some base kind of shade in. The thing I've got to be careful about is not going over bits that need to stay light, like the highlights on the exhaust and stuff, because there's no way to erase it once it's wet. So I'm going to have a go at that now. So I'm just about ready to add some water, so that will tie all this shading together. I'm still going to be careful to leave the light patches, but I've been having a good look at where those are. And then I'm thinking this is going to be quite a medium tone, and then I'll go over again when it's dry and get some darker darks in. And then I'm just going to try and leave these light bits light, and then have some highlights. So there'll be like 4 values, maybe 5 or something like that. That's kind of the idea.
They give you a lot of the black one, didn't they? Have your way on it.
Should we try the magic potion?
Nah, I think it needs some magic file. Look, that's why. No, it needs more than that, mate. It needs filing.
This is after I've added some water to that first lot of shading, so it's gone a bit sort of washed out, but it has joined shadow shapes together, which is good, but it's lost some of the line detail, and it needs a bit of contrast, I think. So I'm going to go over this again now for the darker darks, as it were, and then we'll go on to do some little highlights, I think.
I think all this dust in here is worn out clutch. It's a long way out at the moment, I think.
I have to
bang him on there.
Yeah,
I think that's even the size. I think might need a moulded socket. Or listen, 7 foot.
Likely because
We've got hammer.
the split is in the way.
It is in the way of the back.
Knock it over.
I think it's time to add a bit of some highlights just before the sun changes position too much, and I'll just sort of fix those down. Then I might go back and just put some final details in. But it's getting there. I think it's going to need a suggestion of a background as well.
Ring spanner.
You won't get a ring in there either. The last one, Nick.
Yeah.
The socket sort of wants to be a bit bigger, I think. We need a muppet to do this, Nick. Don't we? Apprentice. I can't even see the figures. No, that's not on there, is it? Try a bigger socket.
Yeah, we have there's the fork with that one over there on the half inch.
Pretty much done now, so I think I'm just going to have a look around. I've added this background, which I think helps a lot. Stops it looking like it's floating in space. I'm just going to go around and just firm up some of these really dark bits, and just make sure that everything is just finished off nicely and is defined. Things like this shadow underneath. Just
I think it would
a
have
bit
worn
of
down.
fine tuning, and maybe stand up and take a look at it from a distance so I can see if I've got too engrossed in the details and forgotten about the whole picture. So I might just do that. That's probably a good idea.
I'll get in there, innit?
Yeah, I can't.
like people said in the, it's usually you can just take the engine out of it.
Yeah.
Of the whole.
And the last thing that I've forgotten is the spokes on the wheels. When I do moving cars, you don't really have to do the spokes because they disappear in the cars when the wheels are turning, but on a static car you just at least need to put a suggestion of them in. You can be quite loose with them if you just put a light suggestion of them. They seem to be in little groups of 3 on this one. And I think I'm going to call that done. I'll have a look at it when I'm back home tomorrow in better light, because it's getting quite hard to see in the midday sun.
Yeah.
So I'm home again and back at my desk, and I've just scanned my picture in. I really didn't change that much to it actually. I might have just firmed up a couple of little edges, increased the contrast a tiny bit here and there, but pretty much left it as it was when I did it. But I do think it can be a good idea to stop a longer sketch, maybe a tiny little bit early, because you can get a bit fixated on stuff and start, or the cramp gets to your hand and you press harder and harder and harder, and it's kind of hard to undo that sort of stuff. You can find the drawing getting a bit stiff, so it's good to have a breather and then come back to it and see it with some fresh eyes. Maybe if I did it again, I would try something a bit looser, just sort of try and maybe not use the ellipse templates, just because it's a kind of energetic looking car, and I just think maybe a more energetic sketch would suit it better. But yeah, pretty pleased with it. Hope you enjoyed watching the process. As much as you could see, it wasn't the easiest lighting conditions and stuff and noise. But yeah, do let me know in the comments what you thought. And if you could like and subscribe, that would be lovely. But otherwise, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you for another film soon.